What's up, Anthony? Can you hear me?
Hey, what's going on?
Sorry for that, man. I don't know. It was
Yeah,
kind of back and forth.
yeah, it's all good. I should have just sent it to you like last time. But yeah, it looked like
Right?
you may not have a lot of time for me to show this to you.
Well, let's see what we can get. If not, we arrange one later this week.
Yeah, man. All right, so hold on quick.
No, we go. And I'm already recording, by the way.
Okay,
Make sure you can see it private.
I'm about to share my screen. Hold on.
Cool, cool.
Yeah, so what I'm about to show you is the 5-day Asian range that ICT talked about. But it's crazy how powerful this is. But he only has one. I think this may be his enigma because he only has one video about this, and it's only like 7 minutes long, and it's like some real shit that helped me out this month. I just really kind of I knew about this, but I never really went into detail. But something was telling me like 5-day Asian range, 5-day Asian range. Take a look at it. So I guess that was God or spirit or something. But let me show it to you. Hold on. You have to go to the daily chart on ES. I'm about to show you US 30, but I'm about to show you US 30, but really it's the same thing.
You're
Um,
still on like the US dollar, Singapore dollar. I think. If I have another screen.
oh, why is it? Hold on. Oh, it's sharing the wrong screen. The hell? Hold on. Oh, okay. I picked the wrong screen. Sorry. All right. So,
Okay, cool. I can see your chart now. That's better. Literally, like no, dog.
why is it being sluggish like this? Stop sharing. All right. So, it's moving really slow. I don't know what's going on. Hold on.
Maybe it's your computer. Are you recording anything?
Uh, that's what I'm trying to see. Like, what other tabs do I have? Because it's not supposed to be doing this.
You want to restart
All
your
right.
computer or something?
Uh, I mean, I should be all right because what I want to show you is just going to keep repeating. All I'm doing right now is just showing you what repeats so you can kind of see for yourself. So let me just zoom in and then I'll just scroll to the left. All right. So this is the first 5 days of the. First off, have you ever heard of the 5-day Asian range or the 5-day range for ICT 5-day range, the beginning of the month?
I heard about the Asian race, but not the 5 day first of the
Okay.
month.
Yeah, because he only has one video about this, but this shit right here, I remember when I first saw him do the video, I was like, but I didn't go to this detail. So basically, the way it works, man, is okay. So what I want you to notice as I continue to scroll to the left, I want you to tell me what you see price doing. This is the first 5 days right here. This is July 1st. I'm sorry, July 3rd. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We put it on the bodies. We put it on the bodies. You have to use the GAN fan. Do you know what the GAN fan is? It's right here. This is the GAN box.
Is that like the red box you have, like a channel?
Yeah, the GAN box helps you create standard deviations. You have to click on GAN box. You see it down here?
I do see it.
You have to find it on TradingView and use it because it helps you create standard deviations up and down. So look, man, look how fucking. That's what I'm saying. Next month, the second week, we should be fucking it up. I don't know if you went to church today or whatever, but I'm telling you, the second week next month, You should not be losing whatsoever with this shit. Now check it out. The first 5 days is right there. Now check it out. Price is going to run in one direction, either up or down. Remember what I just said. Price is going to run in one direction, not to the standard. Look at the standard deviation is where from this red line to this yellow line, right? That's one standard deviation, right?
Uh-huh.
Look, this is the first 5 days, these two red lines. This is one standard deviation projected up of the first 5 days on the body, right?
Correct.
Listen, this is one standard deviation. Now, we're not going to wait for price to come all the way up here because when I did my own back testing, it doesn't do it all the time. I'm trying to figure out what happens every single time. I ain't got time for, what ifs and all that. I need to know what's going to happen guaranteed. What's guaranteed to happen is for price to come to 50% of of one standard deviation. Listen, after the first five, guaranteed, I'm about to show you. After the first 5 trading days, price is going to run in one direction to 50% of one standard deviation, whether it's up or down. Look, this is why when price was right here, I held my long. I did a lot of back tests and I held my long all the way. Now I kept getting out because remember, this is my first time doing this. So I was thinking it's too good to be true. That bullshit, that the world has fed us. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe it's about to drop. But I'm like, my back testing showed that it's going to run in one direction to at least 50%, after the first 5 trading days. And so I kept getting out and then getting back in and getting out and getting back in. That's why I didn't make as much money. If I only made $2,000, I could have fucking made 5,000, but I kept getting in and getting out because it seemed too good to be true. Now I'm about to keep going because I know this seemed too good to be true. Let's keep going, right? Everything I just said is some bullshit. Don't believe nothing I say.
Wait, one question. So how do you predict the channel went downward, like the first 5 days, right? We had red down days.
Okay, here it is.
Would these be opposite or how?
Let me tell you. Let me help you out. Let me help you out. See this green box right here? This is 50% of, this is the 50% of the 50%. So I have look at it. I got this shit detailed, bro. Let me show you. Cause like I said, I went full time. I ain't got time to be playing. I got to have this shit down. You can't have no holes in your game. Like SG said, let me show you my rules right here. I'm trying not to zoom in and zoom out because it's lagging. Let me do this. Let me try that because I have all the rules right here. I have a lot of rules because I did a lot of back testing on this. Let me show you. And I can send you these rules. Check it out. Here are the rules right here. These are all the rules. So I was been staring at the chart for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, and I'm like, okay, what do I see repeating? And so basically what I just showed you down here is this is a false run. Let me show you what the rules for the false run is right here. Right here, there's 2 false runs that happen. So right here, it says false run number 1. It says let me click on this. It says if it can't touch 50% of the 50% of one standard deviation going up or down, that's where UD is, then it will reverse hard in the opposite way and hold to the 50% of the 5-day range. So listen, it said if it can't touch 50% of the 50% of the one standard deviation, then it will reverse hard in the opposite direction. So that's exactly what happened right here. Let me show you. See, that's why I didn't want to zoom out because I was just going to take time to, I just want to show you my rules. But let me just try to zoom back in, even though it's sluggish. Because all I have to do is just zoom in and then just scroll to the left. So I just want you to see this repeating over and over and over again before we end the video, since we don't have much time. So hold on quick. Let me just try to zoom back in. I just want to show you how we don't have to guess. And if you follow my lead for next month, you're going to win the second week. Fucking with me, you're going to win the second week. Facts. So let me show you. Hold on right quick. All right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if it ain't gonna be no other week that we win, the second week we should be winning. So this is green box right here. It's a false run box that I created. So basically, it's 50% of the 50% of the standard deviation. So look, this is how it works. If price, like I told you with the rules, it said if price comes down and it can't close below the 50% of the 50%, then it's going to reverse hard in the opposite direction all the way to 50% of the standard deviation higher or lower. That's how I knew that it was coming up here. That's what I'm saying. Like, this shit is crazy. Like, if price, like on that 6th day, like day 6, is powerful. Like a lot of times I see now, like I may not, like next month, I may not trade this day. I may have to wait and see what the 6-day does. Because the 6-day will tell us everything. It's going to tell us if it's going to go up or down usually. So when I saw right here on Monday, when I saw that price, because remember I had all this marked up and I had the 50% of the 50% of a standard deviation. This right here is one standard deviation down. This box right here, this green, this turquoise box. This is one standard deviation down. So, and 50% of that standard deviation is this line right here. 50% of the 50% is this green right here, which is the green line. So I was like, okay, if price cannot close below this line here, it's game time. We coming all the way up here. But see, it seemed too good to be true, even though this is my first time doing it, because I'm still trying to get out of that mindset of like money is hard and all that bullshit that the world has fed us. So I was like, okay, well, it's going to come all the way up here. But remember, this is my first time doing this. I wasn't sure, even though I back tested a crazy man amount of hours. It still was my first time seeing it. So I was like, okay, so I kept getting in and getting out. I was like, it's probably going to reverse. I kept getting and getting out, getting in and getting out. And then it came all the way up here. And so if you understand quarter points, you need to mark up the quarter points when it gets to the standard deviations as well, because sometimes it'll wick and then reverse down. So I had my quarter points lined up. This is QP 3500 big figure. And then I had the 80s and the 50s and the 20s. If you remember ICT's videos, that's what these are right here. Now look, I had the quarter points lined up as well down here. Let me try to zoom in because I know I'm recording. Let me try to zoom in. So I had the quarter points lined up as well. And you see it hit the 0 right here. This quarter point. So because a lot of times if people don't understand this game, they're gonna just wait on. That's why we have to understand structure. They're gonna wait on the patterns. The pattern is probably supposed to come down to 50% of the 50%. But I'm a little more advanced. I already know that price is going to what the orders are, like ICT teach. So the orders are at the 00s, the 80s, and the 50s. So I'm like, okay, I'm not about to wait for price to come down here. I'm going to see what happens when price hit these quarter points. So it hit the 00s, you can see right here, then it reversed hard. So when price was right here, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get in for the buy. So I went ahead and got in for the buy right here, and I held it, and I put on max leverage. People can do whatever they want, but I put in a lot of time, I put in a lot of effort, and I'm gonna believe in what I see. So I put in max leverage right here, and then I rode it all the way up here. But then you see this wick right here. I was like, I kind of got scared. I was like, well, maybe I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe this is too good to be true, and I got out. And then I felt stupid when price kept going higher, especially right here when I missed this day. When I missed this day, I was sick because I could have just held it from here to here. That's why I'm like, man, I'm just gonna believe what I see. If I know I put in the work,
you gotta watch that. Why? You're like shit. Hold on. Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't know if he was talking to me or somebody else, but
No, somebody else.
What I want to do is I want to keep scrolling to the left so you can see last month as well. I just want to show you how real this shit is. Okay, so this is last month, right? This is last month that I'm looking at.
So mainly, like, kind of like, let me get like straight. You said you're looking at the 5-day range for the first 5 days of the month.
The bodies.
Standard deviation. Yeah, the bodies. Then you use a standard deviation. One standard deviation up and down, and 2 standard deviations up and down, and then kind of see which target, like, where did it close first. If it doesn't close below the first standard deviation, it's gonna go back up. But if it's able to close below the first or second standard deviation, it's going to continue going lower. Is that what I'm kind of getting?
It's more detailed than that. This is like surface level. What I'm just trying to show you, like, this is last month right here. So this is the first 5 trading days, and this is the bodies. I put the GAN box. I put it on the bodies. Now remember, it's going to run in one direction to the 50%. So this is a guaranteed move right here. I literally can go back the last 7-8 months to the left, and you're going to see this exact same thing happen. So if you understand market structure, which you do with ICT, then you don't have to depend on this pattern. You should already know which direction price is probably going to go into based off of ICT's market structure teaching. See, look at this right here. This is one standard deviation. This blue box right here, right? This is one standard deviation projected up. Remember, it can go a lot higher. Like right here, it went to like almost one standard deviation. But look, we trying to find a guaranteed move. We're trying to find what's going to happen regardless. It's going to hit that 50%. And so this is the 5th day right here. If you, based on ICT market structure, you probably would have saw that it was had to come up to an order block. I don't know exactly what this is because I'm just back testing the actual model on this chart right here. I don't go further than the daily chart on this right here. So look, it ran into one direction after the first 5 trading days. That was last month, right? Let's keep going to the left because this is probably too good to be true, right? Okay, so here's the first 5 trading days of the month before that. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put it on the bodies. If you understand market structure, which you do, you don't have to depend on the pattern. The price is going to tell you which direction it's probably going to run into. So look at this. It ran into one direction all the way down to what, 50%. You see why I say 50%? Because look, it didn't go to one standard deviation for this month. It hit 50% of the standard deviation, then it reversed. You see why I'm holding out for 50%. I'm not holding out for one standard deviation because that's too ambiguous. I need something that's guaranteed to work. So even with your long that you had right here, you probably would have got scared right here because this blue box is when price usually reverses. Like I said, I got this shit down to a science. I ain't got time to fuck around. I don't have a job. I don't have somebody helping me out. I need to know what's going on. So this blue box right here, usually price will reverse when it hits this blue box. So usually if knowing what I know, I probably would have just sold right here and I would have waited to see what happened when price hit this blue box. Just usually is like the 12th day, 12, 13, 14, day 12, day 13, and day 14, price usually reverses up. So I probably would have sold my short right here. And then I would have waited to see if price would wanted to reverse or not. But when I seen this candle right here, I probably would have got back in here and held it down to the 50% of the one standard deviation. So what I'm saying is you have an advantage here because you understand ICT market structure and you can tell without looking at the pattern the first 5 days, you can tell whether price is going up or down. That's why I'm saying like after the 5th day, based on structures, you should be like, okay, well, it's going up. Okay, if it's going up, then I'm going to hold out for 50% of the one standard deviation. It's probably going to go a lot
Got it.
higher. So let me keep going to the left. I
Uh-huh.
just want you to see how consistent this is. Now, this is US 30, but it's the same thing for S&P 500 since they move 94% similar. Okay, so here we go again. This is the month before the last month. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I put it on the bodies. Remember, it's going to run in one direction to 50% of the one standard deviation. It can go a lot lower, a lot higher, but we trying to find the guaranteed move. So right here, if you understood structure, you'd be like, okay, well, it has to go down. Okay, we'll go short. Boom. Hold for the 50% of the one standard deviation box. And then, get out and then see what you want to do the next day. I don't know exactly what happens after hit the 50%. I'm aiming for 50% of the one standard deviation. Now, right here,
Yeah,
look at this. I mean to cut you off, but look right here. That's what I'm saying. This box right here is important because price usually reverses when it hits this box. This is day 12, day 13, and day 14. Look at that. Price reverse. You see that, right?
yes, sir. And that's after the first deviation, but you just kind of look for the 50% because you know it's guaranteed every single time,
Right.
correct? Like your bread and butter.
Yeah, exactly. That's why. And now, right now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out, okay, like once it hits the 50%, then what do I do? To see if I can get the rest of this thing. I'm trying to see how many times when I go back to the left, I'm trying to see how many times does price hit the whole 50%. I mean, the whole one standard deviation, because I need to know like, okay, well, what do I do now since price closed below? So let's go to the month before that. I just want you to see how crazy this shit is. Now you see it happening. You don't see any failures, do you? Okay, let's keep going. Maybe it's a failure coming up. Now this is a purge right here. Look, dude, this shit is crazy. Every 5 weeks, this happens. Look, I didn't went all the way back in the past, years and years, every 5 weeks. Ah, man. Okay, so look, this is the first 5 trading days right here. Price is going to run in one direction to the 50%. Now, look, if it's a small range day like this, you got to be kind of skeptical because if it's a small range day like this, it could be choppy. But when it creates a purge, it creates a dealer's range like you see right here, and then price runs in one direction the rest of the month. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like once this dealer's range is broken, price is going to run in one direction the rest of the month, and you see that happening right here. So listen, next month, if we see a small trading range, we gotta be the first 5 trading days. If it's small, we gotta be cautious because it can hit that 50% real fast. And then we may have to wait until it creates a dealer's range like it did right here, ICT dealer's range. And then once it breaks it down here on the body, then it runs in one direction for the rest of the month. So we literally can hold that long or hold it short for the rest of the month, dude. It's going, I didn't back test this shit years and years in the past. It's going to run all the way to the end of the month. Psh, crazy. Let's keep going to the left because maybe it's a failure, right? Hold on, it may be a failure. Let's see, this is the next month. So I'm saying this shit repeats, dude. Okay, so the first 5 trading days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We put it on the bodies, the GAN box. Remember, it's going to run in one direction, 50%. Now you can hold for the 1 standard deviation because you see it constantly hitting the 1 standard deviation. That's up to for you to decide. But right here, this is the 5th day. You could have held these 2 days and held it up here to the 50% of the 1 standard deviation. That's why I have those QPs lined up to see, like, you know, the price. And you see, this is the big figure right here, 34,000. ICT teaches that price always tries to go for that big figure because that's what the orders are. So you can hold for 1 standard deviation, or when you back test, you can see what happens. You know, like I said, this is 1 standard deviation of 50%. So it worked right there as well. And then again, we have the blue box right here, and we see price reversing after it hits that blue box. You see what I'm saying? And it goes in one direction for the rest of the month. That's what's powerful about this. You can wait.
One quick question.
Uh,
What is the blue box that you highlighted?
the
What is
blue,
that?
it's just something. This is day 12, day 13, and day 14. So I noticed that
What
after
is
it's just the days of the month. This is day 12. This candle is day 12. This is day 13 and day 14. On day 13, on day 12, 13, and 14, price usually reverses. So it's
is
either
that
going
usually like around the on the 12 and 13 and
to,
14 it
yeah,
reverses? That's what happened.
yeah, it's you'll see. You'll see when you back test ES, you'll see that you on a daily chart. Don't go any lower. Just imagine the daily chart is the only chart that you have. You don't need to be going lower or anything like that. You just need to have one chart for ES where you literally just look at the daily chart in higher time frames, and you'll see that it reverses on day 12, 13, or 14. It's either it's going to run in one direction for the rest of the month, or it's just going to come up to a bullish order block, ICT, and then push back down. So right here, you would have been like, okay, well, if it's reversing, and where the fuck is it going? You're like, okay, well, according to ICT structure, this is the highest up close candle. So this is, you know, this is the order block. And then of course you would have pulled out the box right here because we got the low, we got consequent encroachment, and then we got the opening price. So then you know, I would have held for either the low or the consequent. I probably would have held for consequent encroachment. I probably would have sold it right here, to be honest with you. Because when I see that big drop right there, I would have got scared and just, you know, stopped trading for the rest of the month. So it's like you really got an advantage, which you know ICT so well, like you do. But I just want to keep showing you this before I let you go. Let's keep going because it may be a failure, right? This may not be repeating. This may be some bullshit. Let's keep going. This is the month previous. I want you to tell me when you want me to stop because it ain't no damn failures here. So here's the first 5 trading days. That's why I'm so pumped up about this because I'm trying to get paid. God damn it. So here's the first 5 trade days. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna put it on the bodies. ICT. We're gonna put it on the bodies. Let me try to zoom this in a little bit. Now remember, price is gonna run in one direction the first 5 trading days. Now you may have some weird stuff like this right here. You see, so price went down. But according to ICT structure, we would have seen, like I know it seemed kind of weird right now, but if you understand the structure, you would have seen that it had to come up here. Now remember, it failed right here. It did fail, but you know, ICT always say get out before your target anyway. Now this is kind of strange right here because the big figure was 35,000. Be honest with you, I would have held for this, but you have to understand ICT. Remember, he said this is a wick. Remember, the wicks are always different on different brokers, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's why ICT. That's why I listen. That's why I included this one because this is Oanda, but on FXCM it probably went up to it probably wicked at the 3,500. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
This is Oanda, so the wicks always are different. It could have went up here in Oanda, and on FXCM it could have been right here on forex.com. The wick could have been down here, so I included this. So this is another purge, man. So once it wicks like that, you can hold short. You can hold short down here. You can guarantee it's coming down here to at least 50%. Especially if you've seen that long wick, understand the structure. you could have definitely got in for a short right here and understood that it had to come down here because it already hit 50%. Because this is a fifth week, Emerson. Every 5 weeks it purges, man. This shit is kind of mind blowing. Let me show you something real quick let me show you something before I zoom back in. I have every 5 weeks lined up. Let me show you. See this right here? This is crazy, man. How price just look at this every 5 weeks. Don't believe me. Believe what you see right here. This is the fifth. Every 5 weeks it purges. You just seen a purge. Here's the purge again. The little green lines right there. That's the purge. If I keep going, that's why I said this month right here was due to purge. Because now every 5 weeks it purges. So when I scroll to the left, right now we're at 5 weeks. But sometimes it'll do it and sometimes it won't do it. But it seems like every 5 weeks it purges. Meaning it hits the 50% on the top and it hits the 50% on the bottom, and then it goes in one direction for the rest of the month. That's why I was kind of confused because
aren't those the same weeks that FOMC meetings comes out and all the, like the news and all the BS that comes out?
I'm not sure to see that. That's where you'll have the advantage. That's why you have an advantage because you know about the news and all that, and you can put two and two together, and you'll start seeing like how the second week, man, is that in the second and third week we should be getting paid because sometimes it may take a week, or two to get to that 50%. So hold on, I just want to show you this on the set. Let's go to the previous month. Look at this, dude, 50%. This is day 6. This is day 6 right here. Now, this right here would have been more of a fake out. That's why you can't completely depend on the pattern. You have to understand ICT structure because remember, this is day 6. Price didn't close above. Oh, hold on quick. Hold on. Wait. Yeah, so this is 50% right here. So right here, I would have waited. Yeah, this right here would have been kind of tricky, but according to the structure, we would have known. We should know where price is going instead of just depending on this actual pattern right here, even though the pattern works. Because right here, what I'm seeing right now, it looked like it probably would have wanted to come down here. That's why we have to understand the structure of ICT to know like, okay, well, it can't come down here. It has to keep going higher. And then we would have got in for a long somewhere down here, or we would have just waited till price came back because this is the order block right here. And this is the fair value gap that we was talking about yesterday. This is a perfect fair value gap because price closed on a red candle. And now we got that gap right there. It had to come back down here. So we would have been a buyer right here. See how much sense this makes? Let me show you something real quick, man. This shit is crazy. Especially with you understanding the fair value gap in ICT. Look at this. Just let me show you how this is coming together because I know you got to go. But hold on quick. So look how crazy this is. Now remember, the blue box is where price reverses, right?
Yes, that's the 12 and 13 and 14.
Right. And here's a fair value gap right here. So here's a fair value gap, which we understand with ICT. Here's a fair value gap. So look how crazy this is. So you're like, okay, well, price has to come back down here because it created a fair value gap. And then you're like, okay, well, according to structure, it usually reverses the opposite the way with the blue box. So you're like, okay, this is guaranteed to happen. This is guaranteed to go higher. So I'm going to definitely be a buyer down here because number one, it has to come back to the opening price, which is right here. It's inside of the blue box where price reverses. So yeah, I'm going to be a buyer right here. Boom. And then you have to know where to get out at. But understand the structure, when price is in a blue box, it reverses in one direction for the rest of the month. Now, right here, you would have got faked out. But remember, you have to understand the pattern. It reverses in one direction for the rest of the month because it created a big high right here before the month closed out. See what I'm saying? So you just should have held your long or bought more long orders right here because it had to make a higher high because that's the structure. That's the pattern. That's why the blue box is important. That's why, if we have a long or short, this is a beautiful move right here. This is a perfect order block and fair value gap right here. So, because it made sense that price will reverse when it came into the blue box because usually it reverses in one direction. Now, that don't mean that's guaranteed to happen because it hit the blue box, reverse, and then still go back down. That's why we have to understand ICT structure. That's why we have the advantage over people who just looking at patterns. I love patterns, but structure, of course, trumps the pattern any day. Now, check this one out. Look, man, I'm trying to show you how powerful this shit is. You need to be spending all day on this. Look at this. This is the previous month, dude. Like I told you, the first 5 trading days, price is going to run in one direction to that 50%.
One quick question. On the top, you said some. There was some words that say close D15. What does that mean?
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Let me show you. Like I said, I got the shit down to science because I ain't got time to be playing around. So basically, let me show you what that means. Like I said, I'm trying to study every angle, so I don't have no ambiguity. This is wick by day 6. So this is important because this is the 50% being wicked by day 6. So what happens is I do that for each and every month because when the next month comes around, like right here, it says closed by day 15. That means that price closed above the 50% on day 15, right? So listen, so if next month, if price closes on day 15, just like this, then guess what? That means that I probably got the same pattern. It's probably gonna follow the same pattern for the rest of the month. You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
Listen,
got it. So you
listen,
kind of
listen.
just backtrack and be like,
Yeah, yeah. Listen, like for instance, let's say next month price closes below, above day 15 on for next month, right? So then I come here and I see this, and then when I keep going to the left, let's see, I find two more closed by day 15s. Right? I see two more where price closed below the 50% on day 15. Let's say I see two more of those, right? And let's say on those patterns, they also ended bullish or bearish because remember, price is fractal. So it could do bullish, or let's say they all ran to the high. Let's say they was in a bullish action in one way or bearish action in one way for the rest of the month, right? Let's say that was true, right?
mhm.
Okay, so what does that tell me then? Let's say next month, if next month closes above day 15 on either bullish or bearish, then what do you think is going to happen for the rest of the month if I got two other charts telling me that price is going to run in one direction, either bullish or bearish for the rest of the month? What do you think is going to happen then? It's going
I'm
to run.
sorry. Is he gonna continue? Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like it's not guaranteed because there's no panaceas. But if next month, if it closes above day 15 and it ran in one direction for the rest of the month, and then I go to the left and I see two more months that ran in that closed above day 15 and it ran in one direction for the rest of the month, and then I look at the other month and it ran in one direction for the rest of the month, then what do I think is going to happen for this month if it closes above day
Yeah.
15?
Yeah. After day 15, he's gonna continue running up. It's
One
based on
direction.
like the.
One direction. So that don't mean that we depend on that, but we have that as a clue. Like, okay, well, this is what I see happening. I have to make sure that structure tells me that this is happening, not just based on a pattern, because we're smarter than that. Okay, we're smarter than just looking at a damn pattern, but the patterns are true. And if it lines up with structure, then we don't have to worry anymore. So look at this right here. This is powerful. This is the first 5 trading days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We put on the bodies. It's going to run in one direction. Now here is a false run. So you got to understand the false run. That's why I have the green right here. Listen, like I said, if price wicks or if it comes close to it and it can't close below, this false run right here is going to reverse and go in one direction to 50% of the 50% of the standard deviation. So right here, that's why I have this line right here. And I'm like, okay, so just imagine a big ass red candle right here. And you're like, damn. So you have to wait. You have to wait to see where the candle closes. Even though it closes all the way up here, you're gonna get mad, like, damn, I could have got in. But we have to wait for the candles to close. But you just get in on a retrace and hold that long all the way up here. Guaranteed. You can put on max leverage, dude. It's coming up here. If it can't close below this 50% of the 50%, and it couldn't close below here, you can put a heavy trade on and hold that bitch all the way to right here. Guaranteed. Because it already failed down here. It failed at the 50% of the 50%. If it wicks and closes like this, it's a wrap, man. Put on heavy leverage. We don't have to be scared anymore. We gonna hold
It's
for
like ICT
50%.
talks.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's like ICT talks about how like the candles and the kind of closure will tell you the picture. Like the weeks where you just kind of like do the damage and the closing bodies will like showcase where you want to go. Like I see that. Like
It's crazy.
this past month it was something similar. So
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
got to
Like,
back test to kind of understand it. But yeah, I see
yeah,
your point. What
that's
you're
that's what
saying
I'm
though.
saying. Like, go to the daily chart. Don't just use one chart for just this. Like, just have your one chart just for this, and don't go any lower than the like just use the chart, the daily. You don't have to like go in to see like where price is going to reverse. You should have another chart that shows you where price is going to reverse because you don't want all those lines on your chart. So you can literally just go to the daily, like even right here. I'm not look this purge right here. First 5 trading days, you can hold it to the 50%. It came all the way up to two standard deviations, and it's reversing. Where's it reversing to? You could have took a scalp right here. Where's it reversing to? Well, shit, if it hit 50% up here, and you see this big bearish candle, then it has to at least come down here. And then look right here. This is the box right here. It's either going, we was looking for price to reverse, because remember, oh God, hold on right quick. Usually when price, remember when it gets to that blue box, it's going to reverse the opposite direction, right? So you have to look at it like,
Yep.
okay, well, shit, if it's not reversing, then it's going to run in one direction for the rest of the month. Imagine all that money, man. You putting on a heavy leverage position. You looking at structure like, okay, it's an order block down here. It has to come down here. It hit the blue box. It couldn't reverse up. You see this big bearish counter. You probably wouldn't have trusted it right here, but right there, you damn sure would have trusted it. Boom. You get in right here, hold that long, that short, all the way down to the end of the month. Even this candle right here would have faked you out. You know it. It has to close at the end of the month. It has to close lower, and it closed lower below this low, and then it reversed up hard right here. But according to the structure and the patterns, it has to close below. Like we always get like a little fake out at the end of the month, but you have to hold that short. It has to take out this low. Crazy, man. Just let me show you a few more. I'm just trying to show you the consistency of it, the 50%. Now, this is the first 5 trading days right here, you know, and we hold out for at least 50%. Now, you may have sometimes like these, like I said, when you have these short range months, we got to be kind of skeptical, because we really want to see like a beefy candle 5-day range. But this right here is kind of small. So, you know, it may hit on day 6, it may hit the 50% of the 50%. So, you know, maybe we have to pull out a Fibonacci or look at structure to see, you know, why did it come up here? But look, again, day 12, like I told you, day 12, 13, 14, price reverses. So if you have a blue box on your daily chart on ES and you're starting to see red candles, then go ahead and take the short right here. You may not trust it right here or right here, but you're like, okay, well, usually price reverses. Then you start looking at an order block or something, or you see that price has to come back down according to ICT structure. Well, you're like, shit, I'm about to go short, and I'll have a stop loss up here. Fuck it, you know, boom. And you hold that short all the way down, and you can even start counting the candles, man. That's how crazy this is. Like I did the math. It literally gonna take 5 days of low before it reverses, either 3 to 5 days of low once it hits this blue box. And you see 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it reversed temporarily before it went lower. So you literally can hold a short for 2 to 3 days without even worrying, knowing that it has to take out at least 2 to 5 days of lows before it does even a little short reversal. It's crazy, man. So even right here, this is a purge again. So you see prices first 5 trading days. If it came down here and it wicked, and especially you could have waited right here, you could be like, okay, well, maybe it's gonna keep going lower. And when you seen that candle right there, you should have known game time it has to come up to at least 50%. This is guaranteed move. You could have got in on a retrace right here on a Fibonacci 38.2 and held for right here and been done for the whole month. If you had heavy leverage could have made 10 grand, you know, depending on the size of your account. But when you see a strong candle like this above the 50%, I mean, and then it didn't reverse, it didn't go lower. You could have look, man, it's gonna run in one direction for the rest of the month. That's what I'm saying. If it can't reverse in this box right here, if you know when a blue box comes around, it has to reverse and go lower, right? You're like, okay, well, according to structure, it's supposed to go lower, but you see this big candle right here, and you see the next day it has a weak ass candle. Yeah, it's bearish, but it's weak. That means that prices continue to go in one direction. Look, on US 30 right now, on Friday, it was a weak ass candle like that. That's why I'm projecting a bullish, and you mark my words. What's today? It's Sunday, right? It's going to be a bullish week. It's going to be a bullish week. So,
I'll mark that. I'll make sure. I'll get back to
or
this.
or it's going to be, well, actually, let me tell you something that's guaranteed. It's going to be guaranteed bullish up until at least Tuesday or Wednesday, because it may reverse. Price may reverse, but I'm looking for price to hold. I'm holding my long, and I'll show you that, because I have a ghost pattern on here that nobody is talking about as well. I got this from Jessica Lane. I don't know if you understand ghost patterns, but this is the ghost pattern I just created.
What is the ghost pattern? By the way, I got like 5 more minutes, bro.
Yeah, that's
You're
fine.
all good.
Yeah, the
Makes
ghost
sense.
patterns is something that you can start using to predict price, because remember, it's just repeating itself. So this is the ghost pattern right here. So you can find these patterns. Like, for instance, let me show you where it's at. This is right here. It's called the bars pattern. You see this right here? It's called bars pattern. So once you see a pattern working, you put it on price, and then it predicts a pattern for you. So I click on this, I click on that. I got this from Jessica Lane when I first got started. She does more retail stuff, but these patterns definitely work. You can do like this. You can flip it. You can mirror the pattern. Now, look, you can also do this when you want to flip the chart upside down and trade against the chart. So this is powerful when you want to trade against the chart as well. Because remember, if this is a ghost pattern, then I flip the chart upside down. Then now I see the price has to go higher because this is a bullish break. This is a breaker right here. You see what I'm saying? When you flip the chart upside down, see, this is a breaker right here.
You copy the a couple of days, then you mirrored it and you flipped it. But
Listen,
how would you know when it would happen though?
listen, this is powerful. Like for instance, right here, I'll click on bars pattern, right? And
Hmm.
let's say, look, anytime you get confused, click on the bars pattern and bring it all the way to the right, right? And then you pull it up and then mirror it. You have to right click and click on mirror because basically it's gonna mirror the chart. So this is what I've been doing lately as well. This shit is powerful because now I can take this chart and I can flip it upside down and see what's actually has to happen. So I'm saying, like, if you get confused, like what's going to happen next week, then use the bars pattern and flip the chart upside down. Because if you understand structure, then you understand that price has to come back up now. Why? Because we got a bearish breaker right here. We got
Oh,
a
I see
bearish
what
breaker
you're
right
doing
here.
here.
I flipped the chart upside down. So now I know that price has to come back up here to this breaker. See what I'm saying? Because price went below it. So now I'm like, okay, well, price has to come back up, right? And then when I actually look at what happened, if I come back up here, then you see price reversing. Hold on quick. Because I want to show you at least one more month before you leave. I don't know why it's getting sluggish. All right, but that's a bars pattern, man. But what I'm saying is if we ever get confused, there's no reason to get confused. We turn on a bars pattern and we flip the chart upside down and trade against it. This is what SG said. SG said ICT used to teach them, like, flip the chart upside down and then you won't be confused anymore because you're like, okay, well, because when you look at the chart upside down, you literally see the market totally different. Now check this out. The first 5 trading days, it pushed down to the 50%. You know, that's the month before that. I'm trying to tell you, this does not fail, man. And you're gonna need to go on ES and look at it yourself. Look at this first 5 trading days. It's gonna run in one direction, at least to the 50%. Look right here, blue box. Like I told you, what happens? Price is going to reverse. Look how powerful this is. It's not just gonna reverse, Emerson. It's gonna reverse in one direction for the rest of the month. Come on, man.
Yes,
And
sir.
we not out here getting paid. Fuck that dumb shit, man. No, we about to get paid. It's gonna reverse in one direction for the rest of the month. If we do see a reversal on that blue box. That's what I'm saying. Like, and I want you to go to ES because you got to help me out. Because when you go to ES and do the analysis, you know, I don't have time to do it because I don't really trade ES like that, you know. But if you can do the analysis just like this, you know, then you can help me with that. Look at this right here. It's going to run in one direction. It's going to purge. Look, when they hit that line right there, and you see that blue bullish candle right there, it's a wrap. Hold that long to 50%. You see right here, and then it creates a dealer's range up, down, and then it's gonna run in what? One direction for the rest of the month. Come on, man. Shit crazy. Shit's crazy. Let me show you one more before I let you go. Just one more.
For
It
sure.
has hold on, it hasn't failed yet. It has not failed yet. 50% of the
No, it
standard
doesn't.
deviation has not failed yet. That's what I'm saying. It's not gonna fail next month either. So it has not, and it didn't fail this month. That's how I was happy. I'm like, man, like, is this shit really starting to happen for me? Is the big money really starting to happen for me? I'm like, yes, it is. So right here, look at this. Let me just show you this before I let you go. We have to be aware of these false runs, man. It never fails. Remember the green box I showed you before? I forgot the color of green right here, but this is the green box right here. Well, I had time to color it. But listen, it did a false run on day 6. Listen, if it does not close below that, what do my rules say? It's going to reverse hard. It's going to reverse hard in one direction to the 50%. That's why I put in my rules. I said, if you don't hold for 50%, you a damn fool. That's what I was telling myself. I said, if you don't hold for 50% of one standard deviation, you start thinking all this lack thoughts like, man, it's too good to be true. I said, you're a goddamn fool because you see what's happening. I'm talking to myself. I was like, you see what's happening? Hold to the 50%. Oh, this is on the 6th day. If it can't close below, it's going to reverse hard in one direction to the 50%. Now, this is a beautiful move right here. If people understood these rules, you all this chopping, you'd be like, okay, you can chop as much as you want, but when you go lower, I'm buying more. When you go lower, I'm buying more because it has to come up here because it failed down here. And we have 2 big bullish candles, which is telling us it has to at least come up here. Come on, man. If you recording this, make sure you send me the video because there's some powerful shit right here.
I will. I'm recording it via Duo. What is it called? So you're like more, you're becoming more like a swing trader, right? Or do you kind of like enter and exit throughout like the day? Because I remember
Yeah,
before you would be like, yeah, go ahead.
yeah. No, I'm trying to be the swing trader. This is the ideal thing for me. Ideally, I want to get in at the beginning of the month, see where it has to go at the end of the month, get in for a longer short, and then every single day I want to day trade the market and do like little scalps. As I want to have that big position that has to go higher, 1,000 points, and then every single day I'm scalping and I'm doing the weekly as well. So it's like I want to have that one position in for the beginning of the month. It has to go higher, and then I look at the week like, okay, well, it has to go either up or down, and I get in a position on that and I hold it. So I got two big positions I'm holding for the month and for the week. And then every single day I'm going in and just fucking them up like boom. I'm going in, cutting, I'm slicing and dicing. I'm cutting all kinds of fat off of that big pig. And and so if I have a big position in, then if you think about it, if I'm day trading, I don't have to force a trade because I'm going to win anyway if I really understand that price has to go higher or lower for the month and for the week. And so at the end of the week, I sell my position. And then I look to see, what price is doing next week. And then remember, I'm still holding my position for the beginning of the month. And I traded 2 to 5 days scalping day trading. I literally only scalp and guaranteed moves because I don't have to go in because my account is constantly growing anyway because I got that big position in for the month. Then I took my second position in where I know it has to go for the week, and I'm catching the ICT. What do you call it? The bulk of the weekly range. So if I know it's going to reverse on Wednesday, I may just wait to Wednesday and then take a short from Wednesday all the way down to Friday, and that'd be my weekly thing, my weekly trade. And then every single day, I'm going in to see on New York Open. I want to see like if I can catch like a quick scalp or two, and that's ideally like what I see happening. Then it's going to turn into holding it for 3 months, and then holding it for 6 months, and then holding it for 2 years. Like that's how the millions is made. Like I didn't put all this fucking work in to make $200,000 a year. Fuck that. I got in this shit for millions of dollars, and Anthony Tillman gonna make millions. I got in this for millions of dollars. That's why I tell everybody I don't care because I'm putting in the work, and it's going to. I didn't get in this for 200,000 either. That ain't shit to me. Millions of dollars. So to do that, you got to hold these positions a lot longer. So that's what I'm saying. Like that's ideally what I want to do. Get in for that position for a month, hold it, and then go in for a week, see where it's going for the week, hold it, and then every single day I'm going in and I'm just building up the account by getting scalps. You see what I'm saying? I'm getting in at London at 3 a.m. and I'm selling it at 1 p.m. And I may do
Yes,
that 2 to
sir.
5 times a week and just building up the account like that. Even if I take a loss, I don't have to go in heavy leverage because remember, I got that big ass position on for the beginning of the month. You see what I'm saying? And then I may come in here and do this 5 day range thing, and then do a quick scalp, and that may be like my intra month move as well. So like that's kind of like what I'm trying to do because when you really see the structure, it's like, okay, if I know if I know it has to go here, then why am I not in a long? Yeah, it's gonna take 3 weeks to get to that order block, but I mean, like it's just positions, it's just moves like that where it's like it wouldn't even make sense for us not to take advantage if we know it has to come back to a bullish order block. You can hold all the way down to the wick, the top of the wick. You ain't got to wait for it to get the consequent encroachment or the opening price, which is a little more risky. I'm like, well, shit, I'm just gonna hold for the top of that wick, you know, on that bearish order block. So it's like, and you have to see. I don't know if you go to the 12-month chart or the 6 month chart, but that's powerful if you're looking at it on the 12-month chart or the 6 month chart because it literally shows you price has to come back to an order block, and it may take 2 months, but it's like, okay, well, hold it short for 2 months then, or you can put in 5 positions and just take out a position every 2 weeks if you don't want to hold on to it like that. But it don't make sense for us not to be holding these positions if you know it has to come back to order block. Yeah, it's not, it's gonna get there at Halloween, but Halloween gonna come anyway. It's gonna take time. You see what I'm saying? It's like, well, Halloween we should have had like 5 longs, and like we should have had 5 longs and took them off because ACT he teach don't hold the positions, which I understand. He like just eat scalp it off. So because price could gap up like 500 points or gap down, and that's why he teach like don't hold a position. So I've been thinking about that, like what about those gaps? But I'm like, okay, but if price has to come back to a certain area, so I'm just experimenting with that right now. Like I've been doing it on demo. So I've been holding one demo position for like a month and a half right now. And so I started off with
Nice,
$500.
nice.
and now it's at like $3,800, and it's on low leverage.
Nice.
It's only on like a 0.06 or something like that. It's not even heavy leverage. So I'm just kind of experimenting on demo, just saying what does it feel like to hold these positions? And it was at $500. Now it's at $3,800. And somebody
Shit,
who
that's more
literally
like.
living on, yeah, yeah, somebody who think about somebody living on the streets of America, and all they had was a $500 refund check. If they understood this information, they literally could have that money right now and just pull out two to $400 a week, and be having food for themselves. Like I want to do something like that really can like I really want to do, like experiment with people on like Skid Row. I want to do something like that in the future, like because they literally can start off with $10. You already know that with certain brokers. Well, I don't know if you know, but like certain overseas brokers, you can start off with $20. You don't even need a lot of money. You just need the skill. That's why I spend so much time on this, because I'm like, it's the skill set. It's not even like the amount of money that you have. It's like people growing these accounts like $200 to $30,000 in 2 months. Using high leverage brokers. ICT, he teach against it, but I think he only teach against it because he know a lot of people who beginners, they may go that route, and it's going to mess them up, and it will mess them up. But if you kind of season, then if you can use high leverage to your advantage, I think.
I see what you're saying. I was gonna ask you. You're using an offshore brokerage, correct?
Yeah. So this is how I do it. And since I'm more seasoned now, like the offshore brokers, I'm only doing it to do builds. I don't use it to, I use Oanda, which is 50-to-1 leverage. But if you got like a big account, then that's still a shitload of leverage. ICT teach you need to be with a prime broker where you don't use any leverage. And this is something that I keep thinking about. He uses prime brokers where they don't even have the leverage or negative leverage, and he still make millions of dollars. So I'm like, you don't even need that much leverage really. But with Oanda is 50-to-1, but with the off-seas brokers, you need to use Hanko Trade. Hanko Trade, set up an account with Hanko Trade if you want to experiment with this. Now they will give you 500-to-1 leverage. Now that may sound crazy as hell, but people use these accounts to do builds. Like let's say you want to help your little cousin get a car and you don't want to use your own money. You're like, okay, well I'll take $300 to $500 and I'll find a position with 500-to-1 leverage, and I'll help her get that $10,000 car in 2 months. And so you find a good position on a higher time frame, like a 3-month chart or 6-month chart, and you hold that bad boy, and you hold it. But the only thing is with the over leveraged brokers, you don't want to have $10,000 in those accounts. So you may wait till you get to 2,000 withdraw and then get back in the position. Because remember, it has to go to a certain area. It's going to take a month or two to get there. And then you get back in at the end of the week, you withdraw another $2,000 because it's an overseas broker. Now here's the thing. By law, they literally can snatch your money and you can't do shit about it. So
Why is that?
because it's an overseas broker. It's nothing it's nothing in the United States you can legally do to, and you will see horror stories about people who have money in these brokers, and they get over on them. That's why you have to use a broker like Hanko Trade that's very reputable. But you have like a lot of these brokers out. That's why you can't have a lot of money in there. So like a lot of people use these. Like if you see somebody that say, I took 200 to $7,000 in 2 weeks, that's true. But I promise you, when they got to $1,500, they withdrew that money. And then when they got to another $1,500, they withdrew that money, because you don't want to have. It's not like all the brokers are scamming people, but they legally, you can't really do shit about it if they take your money. That's why you have to use a reputable and like Hanko Trade. Like if you go to the guy who created if you go to damn, he's real big. He's living in Dubai right now. But he created the little device that people buy where you can actually need to buy the device, but where it automatically
Is
creates
it the nano?
no, it automatically creates your stop loss. It automatically shows you your leverage. And damn, his face is right in my mind, but I can't remember his name. But anyway, he uses Hanko Trade. You really can't lose with Hanko Trade. I use Carbon FX, and I use something called Hey Forex. But if you starting out, I would say go to Hanko Trade. I'm actually about to go to Hanko Trade myself, and it's not like I got scammed by the other brokers. It's just Hanko Trade is like big time, and or and like Hugo's Way or Trader's Way is another one. But what I'm saying is, a lot of people, the professional traders, they use these accounts to do builds. Like they may say, okay, well, I want $50,000 on this trip. Now remember, they got a big account like Oanda that's 10 to 1, but it's going to take a little time for them to do what they want because it's a 10 to 1 account, even though they may have a 6-figure account. So they say, okay, well, I'll take $1,000 and I want to go on a trip in a month and I don't want to use my savings or anything. So they'll take the $1,000 and then they'll put it in Hanko trade since it's 500 to 1 leverage, which is a shitload of leverage. And then they'll find a long-term move and then they'll wait 3 to 5 weeks for that move to play out. And then as they get to like $2,000, they'll withdraw and then the account will build back up. And then at the end of the week, they get another $2,000 or $1,800, they'll withdraw. You see what I'm saying? People use these brokers for what they call account builds. So you can do something like that. You can say, okay, well, I need $400 for something in a few weeks. Just put $50 in there, find a long-term move, and then hold it. And then as that account gets to like $300 to $500, withdraw, and then get back in the position. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
And
Is that what you do? Go ahead.
now I was gonna say, in your bigger account, you may have $10,000 in there, but you may take, two to 500 and put it in Hanko trade. And like in your bigger account, you may have like that monthly move where you're like, okay, I'm gonna hold for this month. I believe it's going up. And so you got that with TD Ameritrade or something where it's 10 to 1. And then you're like, okay, well, I still want to make money during the week. So then you take $200 of that out of your $10,000 big account, and then you put it in a Hanko trade, and then you start day trading. And you're like, okay, well, if I see a guaranteed move, I'm taking it, because really there's no need to force the move because you already have your position in at the end of the month. You're like, okay, it has to go higher. It has to come back up to this order block. So, I'm going to use my big account, $10,000 in there on low leverage, 10 to 1. But then I want to make money throughout the week. So I'm going to use the high leverage account. That's why people use Hanko trade, because they use it for day trading, because you can really run shit up with 500 to 1 leverage, and you know what you're doing. It's a wrap. Like the Lamborghini dreams and all that is simple.
What about the fact that what if the position goes against you?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's why you got to know. That's why you got to stop loss in and everything, because you'll end up owing the broker the money, and they will put it on your credit. So because they have your social, they have your license. You have to verify it and all that. So I never had that happen to me, but it has happened to people where they owe thousands of dollars because they don't know what the hell they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it could go against you the opposite way, but that's the ideal way. Like Q Banks, that's the way he does it. He has a TD Ameritrade account. I think he has like $12 million or something like that in that account, because remember that account is protected, FDI insured and all that. But he'll do like these account builds. Like the last one he did, he turned $1,500 into $34,000 in like a week. See what I'm saying? So, and it was 1,500. He turned it to like
how much?
34,000
into 30 in a
Yeah,
week.
because remember the leverage is 1 to 500. He used Trader's Way, and so he's like, instead of taking 15,000 on my account, he did some office furniture for his new compound. He's like, well, I'm not about to take 15,000 on my account. I'll take 1,500 out to make 15,000, because his office bill, I think, is like 15 grand, and so but he made like $34,000 off of $1,500. That's very doable. So all you got to do is just go ahead and create a Hanko trade account. Don't put any real money in there, and just do a demo account. You'll see the power of the 1 to 500 leverage if you know what you're doing. Like, that's why I've been so psyched up about this stuff, because I'm like, all I got to do is know what I'm doing. And all these dreams and shit is not dreams anymore. It's reality. If that's why I just haven't been going out with friends and stuff, because I'm like, why am I out hanging out with y'all when I should have an extra $3,000 or $4,000? And why don't I have it? Because I was scared that I couldn't hold that long. I literally back tested.
Is it this one? Sorry.
What happened? Oh, you still on here?
Yeah. No, I'm saying, is this the trade, the website Hanko trade? Is it this one? Trade with True ECN broker.
Yeah,
you see my screen?
Yeah, that one right there is guaranteed. Like, if you look up Doyo Exchange, which is he basically about to be a millionaire in a little bit. I think he had probably 600,000. He used Hanko trade, and so I mean, a lot of people, even if you look at people's MT5 screenshots, you'll see that these people, it'll say HNK, which is an abbreviation for Hanko trade. So basically, you can set up an account with them, go through the whole process, put your license and all that, and just experiment with the demo account, and do like $10,000 or do something, do $500 on demo, and then place the positions, and you'll see the power of it. It's gonna
Can
mess
I
your
still
head up.
trade ES? Can I still trade
Yeah, yeah,
ES, or do
yeah,
we have to
yeah,
trade it?
yeah. You can trade everything. Yeah, you can trade ES. You just type in S&P 500. It's not gonna say ES though, because what you're doing is you're doing the contracts. You can actually make a lot more. See, this game is crazy, man. You can make a lot more money using the contracts. That's why ICT. That's why he don't do it this way. But you gotta have an account minimum, of course, when you got to have a lot more money than this kind of stuff. Like you can start off with Henko trade with I think $50 or $20 or something. So,
Hmm.
but with the contracts and ES and all that, I think you got to have $1,500 or something. So a lot of people just start off with. So I'm trying to figure out a way where somebody like on Skid Row can literally learn this skill and have $20, and like I'm going to do like a documentary or something in the future. But you can start off with Henko trade, and you can download the app and download MT5, and then you search for the broker on MT5 or MT4.
Hmm.
If you have Apple, I don't know if you can do it. You have to have like an Android phone to
Yeah,
do it.
I did notice, like, because
Yeah,
I messed
they
up. I tweaked with MT4, MT5,
yeah
but
they
only my
changed it.
PC allows it. Yeah. So
Yeah,
now
they
I gotta
changed it.
and I. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know why they changed. Like the whole trading world was like pissed off like 4 or 5 months ago when they did this. But yeah, Apple no longer. So you have to use your laptop or just get like a little cheap Android phone for $50 or something, and just have it in your back pocket. You may have to carry around two phones, but it's like, um, but yeah, you would go to Henko Trade and set up an account, do your ID and all that, and then just download MT5 and search for Henko Trade, and then you can log into your demo account and start playing with it, and put on 500 leverage, and you'll see like it's no joke. You just have to
Shit.
know. I mean, it's how people running up these accounts. Because when I first saw it, I was like, it's a scam. Like, ain't no way in hell people turning $20 into $500 in a week. How is that possible? Or
But,
2 weeks?
but this is the same. This is the same broker. This is also an offshore broker, right? The one that you told me that you have to kind of like be moving your money every time you make like a
Yeah,
thousand, two
yeah,
thousand.
yeah. They don't scam people, but still, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm like,
You
I
still want to be
trust.
cautious.
Yeah, I use Carbon FX, and it's another company called Hey Forex. But still, at the end of the day,
This one, right? Carbon Capital.
it's Carbon FX. I don't see it. I just see Henkel Trade still. Go to the
Hold
Car.
on, hold on,
Yeah, Carbon FX is pretty advanced.
hold on. Let me see.
But I would say go to Henkel Trade over all of them. But Carbon FX is pretty cool. And I use
Can you see
another
my
company
screen?
called Hey Forex.
Is it this one,
Yeah, yeah,
Carbon
yeah. That's
Capital?
him. Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
And what was the other one? What was the other
Hey,
one you
hey,
said?
hey, hey, Forex. You can start off with like
Hey,
$10 with them. Hey, Forex. Yeah. You can still trade ES and all that with them as well.
I think I opened an account with Ugo's. Ugo, I heard you mention Ugo. Forex or
Yeah.
whatever.
Hugo. Yeah. Hugo
Hugo.
Traders Way. Yeah.
Yeah. I use this one. You ever use this one?
Yeah. The EC. Yeah. You want to use the ECN because the spreads is real small. So the
What is a
ECN brokers,
ECM?
like the spreads is extremely small. The
ECM.
basically electronic it's an acronym. It's electronic something, but the spreads is extremely small. So that's why a lot of people use FXCM or they'll use Henko Trade or something like that because it's an ECN broker, meaning the spreads are small and the executions are really fast.
Hmm.
But if you getting confused, I would say you can't lose with Henko Trade. Like I'm actually about to switch everything to Henko Trade because it seemed like they probably got like the best platform. And if I had like a larger amount of money, I probably wouldn't be as scared because a lot of the big time traders with millions is using these people. And of course, if they was bullshitting them, they would let people know like, hey, they scammed me, but seemed like a lot of people using Henko Trade. So that's why I'm thinking about just switching everything to Henko Trade.
Got it. All right, Mr. Anthony. I'm gonna wrap it up, but I'm gonna send you the recording once it's done. But I appreciate you. I'm probably gonna have to hit you up because it was a lot of knowledge you dropped in, and it's a lot of things I have to kind of back test and all that stuff. Can you
Yeah,
send
man.
me a screenshot of the notes? You know, the yellow notes.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
can have it.
yeah. I'll send you a screenshot of the notes and I'll send you a screenshot of the markings and everything. Because
Yeah,
if you
yeah, the
mark it up the
marking.
same way, if you mark it up the same way I do, like with the boxes and everything on ES, because it's really gonna help me out. Because even though ES and US 30 trade the same, the personality is still different. So it'll be interesting to see like how different ES is than US 30 with when you find the standard deviations of first 5 trading days and everything. Like it's gonna move a little differently. I already know it's not gonna be like the exact same. So
Got it. Look, cause I think I got this, but it's kind of like
nah,
small.
yeah, I'll
I
screenshot
mean
it to
the.
you. Yeah, I'll make
Okay,
sure
cool.
it's extremely clear because those rules are
Uh huh.
crazy, man. Yeah,
Yeah. I know. I noticed like these are the main countries. So if you can give me like, a quick screenshot, I appreciate that, bro.
yeah, no problem.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you. I'll hit you up. Maybe you can arrange another call maybe later this week, maybe on Wednesday or something like that, and
Yeah,
I'll get back to you on that.
we could definitely do 2 calls a week. Yeah. All
Yeah, for sure, man. But I appreciate you, man. Hope you have a wonderful Sunday.
right, you too. Bye.
Bye bye.